right, Drake Riggs here with Kaitlin Young, one of the pioneers in MMA. You know, we're at the PFL, getting ready for PFL, the 2021 championship, right? So very exciting. Kaitlin, last time we caught up was right before the Cindy fight, which was the debut, right? So now we're here at the championship. Unfortunately, not in the tournament bracket or anything anymore, but still cool to be here. Great opponent. Just how was the first season experience for you like?
It was pretty awesome. I'm really having the opportunity, rarely as a professional, especially a professional with so many fights, do you have the opportunity to fight so frequently. So that's been really amazing with PFL because they keep you really busy, and that's not, I mean, apart from Thai boxing in Thailand, I don't think anybody gets to fight that frequently in the U.S. as a professional, so it's pretty awesome. It's been fun.
Yeah, I can imagine, right? It's not something we've seen maybe since the older days, so it's kind of throwback a little bit, keeping you active.
You know, we're not fighting in barns, so
yes,
it's
that's
a
nice.
Step up.
That's very nice. And I wanted to go back to your last fight, Kaitlin, because the Mariana Rice one, I feel like that was one that there was a good argument for you winning that one, and you know, no finish or anything like that, but still a solid performance. Looking back on it now, having had time to assess and everything, like how did you feel? Do you think you should have got the win in that one, looking back on it?
You know, I think I could have taken the W in that decision, but you know, as a coach, as somebody who's judged fights, if you're losing a split decision, it's kind of a stone's throw. So I look at it, I mean, it was really unfortunate being bumped out of the tournament, but I think the way the points shook out anyway, even if I'd won that fight, I wouldn't have been in still. Had it been a split decision win anyway.
Right.
So, you know, it's disappointing, of course, but that's the way the cookie crumbles. And it's just things that I can work on to get better.
And they're still keeping you active, though, which is nice, despite not being in.
That's been really nice. Yeah, exactly.
And so, do you mind if I ask what happened with the Marina Makhnitkina fight? Because there was a lot of mystery there.
There was a lot of mystery there. Yeah. So basically, they decided to switch my opponent because Lauren, right, had missed, and God, what's her name?
Larissa.
Are you gonna, Larissa.
Pacheco.
Sorry, get hit in the head a lot.
Shout out,
Larissa missed weight, and they took my opponent and gave her to Mariana's opponent when they bumped her in, and asked me to fight Larissa. That's a fight I wouldn't mind having. But she had missed weight, and we couldn't find an agreement on that fast enough for PFL on what that meant. So that's what happened. You know, I've been in on the other side of having to make decisions like that, so I understand the process. The pickle they were in a little bit with that, like trying to, you know, when disaster happens, you just do the best you can with what you got at the moment. Right. But yeah, it was, to be honest, it was pretty frustrating, but they've been great to me and made it up to me with this fight, so that's awesome. Yeah,
definitely. Julia Budd, like, I didn't really expect her to even sign with PFL, and then to like get you as her first opponent. I was like, oh, here we go, another one kind of like Cindy, where you guys could have crossed paths back in the day, fought together in Invicta. So that was very cool for me to see, as you know, a really big fan of you guys and everything. And she said she predicted this when I spoke to her. She's like, I knew I was going to fight Kaitlin as soon as she was out of thing that happens with that one. So when it was presented to you, like, how exciting was that?
It was super exciting. I was just like, yes, immediately, you know. So it's fun when you get to fight somebody where you've kind of been orbiting around each other for like more than a decade at this point. You know, I think we were both on the first Invicta card together, actually.
Yeah, might have
I
been.
remember that. I think that's when I first met her. So that's a long time ago. Yeah, exactly. So I'm super excited about it. I think it'll be fun.
Is it more motivating for you to get someone like of her stature, obviously former Bellator champ, and coming in, making her debut? There's all the hype around her. I mean, they didn't put you a media day, no respect, but
no, they're hiding me, you know, better than a pastor having an affair, but
hey,
that's all right.
Yeah. So that underdog role, though, is that something you like too? Because I mean, been there before, but in this spot, like I said, they're you know, it's about Julia a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, it's the way promotion works, so. It's nothing I'm unfamiliar with, and it doesn't bother me.
Yeah, of course. So looking very much forward to it, Kaitlin. And of course, this is a night that is highlighting the lightweights and all the tournament, you know, finalists and all that in the main event. Harrison and Guardado. I mean, what do you think about that? Obviously, Taylor Guardado come from Invicta as well. Kind of cool to see her get, you know, that opportunity. If it couldn't have been you know, like very few fights, fighting for $1 million. Very cool.
I am not surprised by that, honestly. you know, other than myself, right? I would have picked her to be the dark horse. Yeah. I remember when Ronda fought her back when they were amateur,
Right.
and Ronda said that she was one of the toughest people she had ever faced.
Okay.
So I mean, nothing would surprise me in MMA, but
Right.
yeah, I would keep your eye on her.
Yeah, going to be a good one for sure. And it's funny, Kaitlin, when we last caught up, it was before Miesha had came back, and we talked about it a little
Yeah.
bit. So having seen, you know, how that fight went, just curious what you thought of it, because, I mean, I thought looked incredible. Like she was never gone.
Yeah, she did. I'm excited to see what happens for her. It's neat seeing somebody kind of like go through their personal transformation and then come back. And that was the first one back with, obviously, like, she's trying to raise kids. Like, she's, you know, you see her on Instagram, she got her kids running around in the cage with her.
Mom mode.
Exactly. But seeing her look just as good as she always has, if not better, and I'm sure the next fight's going to be even better. So I'm excited for her. It's fun to see. Fun to see somebody come back with so much experience too.
Exactly, and still that drive. You know,
Yeah.
some people might not have been the same, so it is very cool indeed. Kaitlin, I will leave you with one last thing. Always great getting to catch up with you. For next season and looking past this fight and everything, is the idea to stick with the PFL? Are you gonna explore if that's even an option? Like, I know you're probably not looking super far ahead. It's always fight by fight in this game, but
Yeah.
are you thinking ahead at all? What could be next?
Yeah, I think so. I really like it. If I'm being honest, the only thing I really don't like is not being able to use elbows. I'm a Muay Thai fighter.
Right.
But I also really like that the CEO is Ray, or the matchmaker, you know, president, and he has 90 fights himself. So I think he understands.
And he fought in the PFL.
Exactly. Like I think he understands well, what motivates a lot of us that like to fight a lot. So, you know, they've been keeping me busy, and I think it's also one of those things I'd be more likely to get permission to do, maybe some kickboxing or.
Right.
Who knows? Who knows what's gonna happen? I'm hearing rumors that a lot of new stuff is gonna happen next year. So we'll see.
Exciting. And you don't have to cut as much weight.
That's right.
All right, we can leave it there, Kaitlin. Very excited for the fight tomorrow. I can't believe it's tomorrow. I feel like we still have a whole week to go. But yeah, thank you so much for catching up. Always great, and
Nice
a
to
wealth
talk
of
to you.
knowledge. Thank you.
Oh hey, you made it to the end. Thanks for watching, really appreciate it. If you like this video and want to see more like it, give it a like and maybe subscribe if you haven't already. Until then, we'll see you next time.